So imagine for a second, you've never been an outdoorsy person before, and your friends suggest that you go on a camping trip with them. After much hesitation, you finally agree to join them. And not even one day into your trip, you end up having a near-death experience with a mother bear protecting its cubs. This is exactly what happened to me last summer, and this is my story. The camping trip was for my friend Connor's bachelor party. I was the best man in his wedding, so I had to go. It was really cold outside on the morning we left. I could feel my ears turning into icicles on either side of my head as we drove from the city to reach a popular trail a few hours away. When we finally reached the trail, I realized I'd overpacked. Initially, I thought I needed to bring all the essentials, and then some to cover for my forgetful friends. But what I hadn't considered was that I'd be the one carrying it all, in my backpack. The hike was a long trek. My calves were burning when we finally reached the campsite. I collapsed onto the ground. My face was buried in the dirt. "You okay, Brett?" Connor asked, nudging me with his boot. "Just leave me to die. I just want to die," I responded, panting. "Okay, well, you want to die somewhere further away from crap?" "Huh?" I asked and looked to the side to see an enormous pile of poop. Ugh, God. How did I not notice that? I don't know, but it's a good thing you didn't fall a few inches to the left. Instead of considering the size of animal capable of leaving such a massive pile of still steaming turd must have been colossal. My easily distracted mind kept on, and my ignorance would soon prove to be my downfall. At the campsite, the guys had already started setting up the tents. They greeted me with a freshly brewed cup of coffee. After the tents were up, we got a good fire going and started roasting hot dogs. I thought I heard a noise in the surrounding woods, a low rumble, but no one else acknowledged it. I was pretty on edge. Bugs and dirt have never been my thing. I was eager to turn in and call it a night. We had 2 of those huge party tents, so at least I felt safe from animals getting into the tent. My biggest fear at the time was waking up to find a squirrel or some other small rodent perched on my chest. As it turns out, that should have been the least of my worries. The following morning, I woke up first. I had to pee, so I rolled out of the tent to find a private tree. Unfortunately, what I saw rummaging over the leftovers of our fire made me empty my bladder before finding a place to go. There was a massive bear with coarse black fur, along with 3 of its cubs sniffing around the campground. I froze. My heart pounded like never before. I could feel the high of adrenaline trying to rush me to make a decision on what to do. I was too scared to make a noise, unsure if I should run or stand my ground. It didn't seem to notice me at first, so I attempted to start slowly moving towards my friends, who were still in their tents, to warn them of the danger. But as soon as I took my first step, a twig snapped beneath the weight of my shoe, and the sound alone was just loud enough to alert the bear to my presence. It swung around and looked at me. I stopped moving, frozen like a statue, and just stared at it, hoping it would decide I was just a tree or something. After a brief stare down, the massive beast stood up on its hind legs. It must have been 9 feet tall. I never understood what people meant when they said your life flashes through your eyes when you're having a near-death experience, but now I can confidently say that I understand that feeling more than anyone. The bear sniffed the air in my direction and let out a gut-wrenching roar that shook the ground. It was in that moment that I saw my whole life, my regrets, my fears, my dreams, and even my loved ones' faces simultaneously. Time moved in slow motion, and I became someone else. I was no longer Brett. Instincts took over and I screamed, "Bear!" Everyone had been woken up by either my scream or that devastating bellow by that point. My friends scrambled from their tents away from the direction of the beast. I continued yelling at it from a short distance and started waving my hands up and down. "Go! Get out of here!" All my friends joined in, screaming at it to leave, trying to make ourselves look more threatening as a unit. "Leave! Go on, get! Leave us alone!" This went on for what seemed like the longest couple of minutes of our lives. Finally, the bear made a few strange, snorting noises and turned its back to us, and ran off into the forest along with its 3 cubs, every step shaking the campground on its way out. After the coast was clear, we attempted to clean up what was left of the mess the bear had made. Our coolers had been ransacked. Food wrappers and plastic utensils littered the campsite. I still feel fortunate that I'm alive to tell that story. For a minute there, I truly believed we were all goners. Perhaps unsurprisingly, I haven't been camping ever since.